Alright. Let's check. Alright, we got a K-Rat. Anyone else here? Guess I'll get back to where I was in the cutscene. He's got to tell me about money again.
This is...
Look at the people again.
Ah, yes. You must be curious about... Each nation, after much debate, as for a unit, and as our from what you're... Our way of... Some of... But I fear it would not be practical for us to provide everything to it. Avan...
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. This fine... And we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from his home.
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift. I wonder. After careful consideration, I have decided to grant
here's
you
where
my
it crashed
assistance.
before.
Make a pact with me and the fun can begin. But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails? Just as I thought! Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass. From this moment forth I will be your Isne Fis, and you my Snay Yak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other. Raise your hand.
Big Zark, what have you gotten me into?
Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling. Come then. Make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit
I don't
this
have
world
Spectrum, I
again.
have Cox, because that's what they are. But I'm...
Mayhap a message to your friends in the source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Consider it done.
God.
As you heard, that was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium. Right, we were going to organize a room for you, weren't we? Come along.
Alright. Now I got my inventory. chests and stuff. Oh, there you are. I was just finalizing the matter of your accommodation. You'll have a private room here at the Pendants for the duration of your stay, and make use as you see fit. When you are ready to retire, the manager will show you to your lodgings. Pray rest and recuperate, and we shall reconvene on the ocular anon. I believe that covers all of the practical concerns. Thank you for answering my call, Magnarmus. We are denied comforting blanket of night, but may peaceful dreams attend you nonetheless. Pleasure to meet you, sir, and welcome to your new home at the Pendants. Your room is ready if you'd retire. I'll retire to my quarters. Hey, I remember you.
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the source.
Warrior of Darkness, I
What?
presume.
Did you just... You can hear me? Oh, gods, how long has it been? That was what I called myself in your world. The Warrior of Darkness. My real name is Ardbert. I used an alias in the source, a daft one, looking back. If you recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood. We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians. Let them guide us to the source, and tried to hasten their goddamned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia, how she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the First. The flood was poised to swallow Norvrant. Minfilia and my friends, they surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness. Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
I was told that it's been 100 years.
100 years. 100 long years. My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear. I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift. I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that? You were summoned to save the First. A waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who try to save it. Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end. Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
One way to lay down. Blinking. Next quest. Mr. Magnanimous, the Exarch awaits you within.
How did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest.
Well enough, thank you.
That is good to hear. Should you want for anything, pray let me know. Now, let us return to the subject of the Scion's whereabouts. This map shows the lands of Norvrand, the only area to be spared the Flood of Light. The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland. To the north is the fairy kingdom of Il-Meg. That is where you'll find Urianger. To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak-Tika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest. Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty. As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium. Alphino is on Calusia. an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement. Alize, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armorang. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin Eaters. In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe. So, will it be Calicia or Armorang? It matters not which you choose to visit first. Simply inform me once you've made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount. Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin Eaters. Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
Go with Alphino first. You'll visit Alphino and Colusia then? Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast. You will need a mount capable of making the journey. Here's a letter of introduction. Present it to Sezem Genmai, Master of the Beasts at Tenemos Rookery, and he will take care of you. When you see Alphino, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Get to the road. This way, I think. Maybe. Yeah, looks about right. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Fine by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an armor for passage to Colusia. I will pick you out a friendly wealth. That's right, mounts like my great friend over there. A common sight in these parts. But I gather you hail from further afield, more accustomed to chocobos, perchance? I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding an Amaro, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any's in worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mount. Oh, jeez. Oh yeah, there's a shard here somewhere, I think. There it is. This one? You want to fly an Amaro to Pelusia? Well, I suppose Master Genmai is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mounts shortly.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
First area. There it is. Go into that real quick. Talk to the guy. We are arrived. This cracked shell beach on the eastern coast of Calusia. You should be... Alright. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of. By you, that city in the distance, that is Yulmore, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale, and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Yulmoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority. And while we are not at war, our relationship with Yulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. I'm glad we understand each other. Now the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that you should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. If you head south along the coast, you'll eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Ivor. Ivor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Calusia, and you'll be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme, and it will let him know you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend, and I will stay here with the Amuro until you are ready to return. Says, what are you after? Fish? Crab? I think I've got Neil in a barrel somewhere if you've got a taste for him. Information. How will this help? Ooh, I do love a bit of time. Chuck some in the pan and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. Now what is it I can do for you? Can't say there's been any major upsets to report these past few weeks. Alphino, eh? Aye, I know the one. Our young champion of the downtrodden. Yulmore's richer than all of Norvrant put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Both spend their every waking moment just trying to stay alive. It makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. Aye, I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there, and I'll see that Alphino joins you. It's your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What'll you be having? A fine choice. And what'll you be paying with? Oh no, those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear. I doubt they have any value. But I don't have a touchstone to test their purity. Oh, I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity. And I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbors, so we'll just have to come to another arrangement. Ah, here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we can have. So what do you say you go to a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find, then visit the caretaker and give him an earful from me for sleeping on the job. They'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me and you can laze about here as long as you like. I'll get that one. on the barred door. No response. Maybe you should knock louder. No response. Perhaps the acumen is hard of hearing. Hear the faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. All the scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up the residence in their absence. Here we are. Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? He's gone. Gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gate Town, outside Yulmar? You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And here I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it, and I'll even throw in another drink on the house.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Tis good to see you, my friend. The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, well, Fino, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
Me? I was more worried about you.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before. I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral Calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the Calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped, but so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin-Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Am I ever?
And so we take to the road once more.
Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Yulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. From here, we must head west, and then cross a small bridge. Lucia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. To think that whatever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No, get away from me! Over there! Someone's in trouble. Are they now? Let's go. Oh, thank the fates, look out! My turn to wreck a Sin-Eater. My poor heart, thank you, young sir. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you alright, madame? Just a few bruises from where I fell, nothing compared to what was in store for me had this brave soul not come to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet were not as swift as they once were. I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Yulmore with the rest of them. Not those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again, you saved my life. Now, I'm sure a strapping lad like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. It is as the lady says, many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? A brief history then. 'Twas not long after the flood swallowed the better part of the world that the Sin Eaters first appeared. Some beastly, some beauteous. Yet regardless of their form, all seemed incapable of speech, and all are driven by the same insatiable appetite for mortal ether. They are predators, and we are their prey. Lucia offers far fewer attacks than most regions, but even so, the list of Sin Eater's victims grows longer by the day, a tragedy without end. Still, we have won a small victory this time at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
What? I was only making
Please.
conversation.
I'll deck him in the schnoz.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please! Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu. Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We might not at all.
Fish, is it?
Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged, and so they are picked over like market produce.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in the City of Splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
You have to talk in rhymes.
Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident.
Food looks like ass.
For you.
Oh, hello!
Enjoy.
Thank goodness.
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity, yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
What are you looking at? Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via a contest with ever-changing rules. They say this policy has been in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Yulmore's current ruler came into power. Yet from what I've seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I have tried to propose ways that they could improve their lot, but my words invariably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now, I worry that, well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gatetown and judge the situation for yourself. Yay, walking around and talking to people. Alright. Walking around and talking to people. Go this way. Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Yulmore's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gatetown's not much to look out at, but at least it's safe, and the meal is the best thing I've ever tasted. this will get me around faster. Large pot bubbles over the flame. Pale chunks meal, you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Every day I dream of the life that awaits for me inside those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? Seen what Gatetown has to offer. Well, these people can no longer fend for themselves. They've become dependent on handouts of meal. I believe Yulmore is the answer to all their woes. Yet no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable to conceive of any other way of life. You disapprove of these people's way of life? Disapprove? It frustrates me, certainly. That's the only part of it, though. The whole situation makes me uneasy. Not that it matters, however unjust this system seems to me. If these people claim to be content with their lot, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forgo Yulmore's Largas are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gatetown, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left empty and untended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I am not convinced that Yulmore's generosity truly serves the best interests of Calusia's people. I am not so naive as to think there is some miraculous solution to all of this. Yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from poverty by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps through Yulmore's gates. It's fortunate that you arrived when you did, Magnarmus. I have been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city, and if all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. There is a beast tribe who makes its home in the seas surrounding the island. The Ondo they are called, though you and I know them as the Sahagin. For the most part, they keep themselves in their ocean grottos and rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But as Tataru took such great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ondo are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular. When I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Yulmoran lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls plums and pumpkins. Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. My appointment with the Ondo is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Why don't you help me make the exchange? Sure. Excellent. I should be glad of your company. First things first then, we must pay a visit to Moshe Moa, my supplier and right. Come, it is just northwest of here. there's something I can do for you, friend. Good day to you, Moshamoa. This is my associate Magnomus. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. Hey, I loaded your lackey up with the goods not long ago. A lackey? I know of no such person. Estelle lad, short blue hair? No? He said he'd come on your behalf, and since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed. Confound it, someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation. If this charlatan was here not long ago, he cannot have gone far. We should split up and search the area. You find a vantage point to the south side of town, and I shall take to the west. Found him. You've located your quarry. Magnomus, any sight of him? Right over there. You've a keen eye. Let us move in before he makes as good his escape.
There you are. The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear, must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Christerium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Yulmorans' interest.
You'll give me your place? Just like that?
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kai Shia, it was the difference between life and death. I do not regret my decision, yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world, that countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
Quite possibly, meaning we'd better hurry up and think of a new plan.
Indeed. We will find another way. I promise you. Shall we return to Rite then? Is that? I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble. Come on, they may need our help.
Ooh, can't swim. Well, I can't fly here, so I'm gonna go around. Ah, there it is. Hold on. I'll get you later. That should take care of the worst of the injuries. Mercy, I beg you. Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. The poor man is shivering. Pray keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever gonna repay your this kindness? We'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Crystal. I was invited into Yulmore to work as an artist. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them. But when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out onto the street. I was left penniless and patronless, a grave sin in Lord Vothry's city. Within days, they had brought me before the man himself and asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the goddamn ocean. From up there, how were you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me, luck, I suppose. But if you hadn't found me when you did, it wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous. And the citizens condone such barbaric punishment? without second thought. When Lord Vothry passes judgment, no one can so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Yulmore, his word is law. See the Emperor from the Emperor's New Groove because he has people thrown out the window? The more I hear about Yulmore, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I should bend up all my thoughts toward securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do. First, we should convey Tristal to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. Way into the city. Oh. You can just teleport there. Let's go. Pray accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And if you'll permit me, I would assist you in your attempt to enter Yulmore. Insofar as I am able, at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors to that awful place makes me sick to the stomach. But since it's plain you've set your minds on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. The Yulmore elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want. And if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince the people you have a talent for painting. Are you certain? This is your livelihood. We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly after all you've done for me. Besides, I don't think I can have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. But I shan't stay long in this place, not with that bloody city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to a new land and a new profession. I'll keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day. You could always move to the Crystarium. They say kindness is its own reward, but Tristal has repaid us a gift as timely as it was unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon his advice before another painter steps into fill the vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with a brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role, I would hope. As for you, well, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, mayhap you could pose as my assistant. Then it is settled. All we need to do now is return to Gate Town and await the next appearance of those vile jesters. To Gate Town. Here they come. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention once more. What a day it's been for the folks at our door. We've welcomed a peddler who made pearls from plum, and now we've a place for a painter of a blum. So come along and don't be slow. It is your time. It is time to let your colors show. I can paint portraits, at least. Landscapes and still lifes are so rarely commissioned these days. Oh, I thought I spied some new faces in the crowd. What fortune that you should feel at ease around an easel. What proof have you of your prowess? Any masterpieces on your person? Sadly not. Everything I paint is soon sold. Such is the life of a working artist. I have only my brush to testify for me, though you will note that it has been seen no small amount of service. Oh, flecks of paint, both old and new. A tool much loved and much used. Not a prop to be conjured on the hop. Very well. Come with us and we'll put those talents to the test. And who is this hanger-on? Well-wisher or parasite? Why, this is my assistant. He whose unfailing support allows my art to flourish. I will go with him or not at all. Parasite, then. We shall leave his fate in the hands of your new employer. It matters not a whit to us. And having filled our latest vacant space, we retire to Yulemore's sweet embrace. Oh, mercy me, the mule! We almost took our leave without leaving a loving token. We must empty the sacks ere we make our way back. Mule. Soylent Greenest people
is beyond us. The lament of all but saints and fools, and the comfort of the lords and ladies of this accursed place. Once they held fast against the madness, only to embrace the coming cataclysm and delight in the end of days. Perhaps in rapture they seek to lose themselves and the misery they share. Or perhaps for them alone, the promise of eternal pleasure really does hold true.
Welcome to the city of final pleasures. Feel free to weep at its magnificence. Not even a single tear? Moving right along then. Our first task is to register you as residents, you know. Make it all nice and official. We'll smooth the way. So you just need to put on your happy faces and head through the joyous hall. Bureau of Immigration is in the first room on the left side of the passage. Declare your name and occupation in a nice loud voice. The clerks will tell you where to go from there. Oh, and pay no mind to those folk off to the side of the road. Much like the hopefuls in Gatetown, they haven't earned the right to enter the city proper. If, however, you enjoy basking in the envy of your fellow man, then by all means, take your time. But why waste another moment? Go, enjoy the beginning of your new life in paradise. The Bureau of Immigration, was it? I suppose we had better show ourselves willing for the time being. Welcome to Yulmore, fortunate friends. May I have your names? I am Alphino, an artist, and this is Magnarmus, my assistant. Ah, yes, I was informed of your imminent arrival. We can forego the usual interview and begin processing your registration papers forthwith. Now, the citizens of Yulmore are divided into two classes. There are the free, who are blessed with the favor of Lord Vothry, and the bonded, who work in the employ of the free. You'll be joining the ranks of the bonded. Your duties are to serve a patron in the capacity of which you were chosen. In your case, painting pretty pictures. Should your patron dismiss you for any reason, you must find another sponsor among the free or accept work as a general laborer. I see, and might you tell us something of the patron we are to serve? The two patrons, actually, Chai Nuz and Dulia Chai. A Mistel couple whom most refer to as the Chais. They are both gentle souls, but I would ask that you conduct yourself with respect and humility, for your own sake as much as theirs. Now, a moment, please, while I complete the relevant paperwork. All in order. These are your registration documents. Take those papers next door and submit them to the clerk. Once they've been stamped, you will officially be Yulmoran citizens. Enjoy your new life in paradise. Welcome to the Bureau of Registration. Papers, please. What have we here? Alphino, an artist, Magnarmus, artist assistant, be employed in the service of Lord Chai Nuz and Lady Dulia Chai? Yes, everything seems to be in order. Your registration is hereby approved. I think it best that we deliver you to the Chai residence before... Oh dear. You smell hideous. Did you crawl through a ditch? It's like an unholy miasma of dust and sweat in the musk of some unwashed beast. Proceed directly to the delousery next door and scrub yourselves clean. Use whichever showers are free. After you've rinsed away that stench, you'll want to splash yourselves with this perfume, liberally. Once you've made yourselves presentable, then you may proceed to the Chai residence. Pour in by the guard by the stairs will give you directions. I didn't realize we were so aromatic. Nope, get this over with. Rinse yourself clean in the stream of water. Oh yeah. There we go. You apply the perfume as directed, and the delicate scent of roses fills the air. Oh, you've showered and dressed already, have you? It is not... That is to say, it seems rather exposed for one's ablutions, does it not? Hurry up and shower, Stinky. Fine, just a quick rinse then. Well, that was bracing. I believe the lingering smells of the road have been successfully expunged. We go and present ourselves to our new patrons, then. You're looking to present yourself to the Chais, are you? Then let me explain how the city's laid out. Then imagine 3 layers. One on the top, the other 5th layer here is called the buttress. Above us is the understory, where the military has its headquarters, and above that, you've got the canopy, which is where the free citizens of Yulmore spend their days. So if you want to find your new patrons, you'll need to keep climbing until you run out of stairs. Then look for the Grand Dame's parlor. They'll be in there, like as not. Keep climbing till I run out of stairs. Alright, I made it.
Oh, who's this then?
Lord and Lady Chai, pray forgive our intrusion. I am given to understand you were in search of an artist.
Ah, you must be the new,
Oh, goodness me! What an adorable boy! That silken hair, those pearly cheeks, oh, and you even smell wonderful, like a bed of flowers. I approve of this one, dearest. I am positive he will paint us the most delightful pictures.
Yes. Well, as long as he paints better than that talentless wretch we sent packing last week.
Wonderful, wonderful! Welcome to Yulmore.
Alphino, if it please you, my lady. And this is my assistant.
Your assistant? I've heard of folk bringing in family members, but this seems a bit irregular. Aren't you a little young to have a protege?
We are family in all but name, my lord. Though we share no blood, we have stood by each other through life's many challenges, resolved to prevail together or not at all. Of all people, 'tis he who best understands my work. With his unique insight guiding my hand, the art I create is sure to satisfy your expectations.
Laying it on a little thick, aren't you, Alphino?
Once the picture is begun, of course, I shall have no need of constant encouragement. And so I wondered, rather than him being in your way, might it then be permissible for my assistant to explore the city he has so longed to see? Out of gratitude for his priceless contribution to my art, I thought it only fair that I make this humble request on his behalf.
Oh, did you ever hear of such devotion? Of course your assistant must have his wish. He shall be free to roam to his heart's content. Isn't that right, darling?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course, dearest. Quite right.
Now you've the opportunity to experience Yulmore. I suggest you make the most of it. Explore the city top to bottom. In other words, I would start with the canopy and go from there. Try wandering around the market stalls, mayhap. This place isn't usually filled with colorful characters, only too eager to share local gossip with a friendly visitor. I would appreciate it, of course, if you could share any discoveries with me in turn. We should both learn as much as possible about our new place of residence. Oh, hello there. A fresh register, are we? You seem a little lost. Well, 'tis lovely to make your acquaintance. Speaking of acquaintance, you wouldn't happen to have run into my attendant on your wanderings, would you? Big, strong lad, long hair, tied back. He was escorting me on a shopping errand when I realized I dropped my handkerchief, and now I've been waiting here all alone while he's been off searching for it. I'm not terribly fond of being alone. If you do see him, I would be obliged if you could pass on this message. Forget the silly handkerchief and return to my side at once. I think I found him. Guess I'll help him out. Wicked white, that was too close. Thank you, friend. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come along. I was trying to rescue my lady's handkerchief, and you see, the wind must have blown it over the edge, but luckily it caught on something. I thought if I could just reach out far enough. Risk your life for a scrap of cloth? Not just a scrap of cloth. No, it belongs to her. Not if it belongs to her. Oh shit. I would rather risk my life and more to spare my mistress but a single moment of sadness. When I first came to Yulmore, I thought only of improving my lot in life. But there was so much more to the city and wealth aplenty. There was no war here, no conflict. The residents all greet each other with warmth and respect. My mistress has been ever so kind to me, and I can think of no other place in Kalusha where I could possibly be happier. Sorry, I might have gotten a bit carried away. I find it hard to stop when I start counting my blessings these days. Please, you should come with me to meet my lady. Once she hears your deed, you'll be witness to her generosity firsthand. He sent me to look for you. What? Lonely, you say? Curse my clumsy feet. I must return to her immediately. My attendant told me everything. I'm so grateful you were there to offer your assistance. I'm a dedicated patron. Oh, my attitude is not unusual, I assure you. Without the efforts of our bonded residents, we free citizens would not enjoy the pleasantries of our daily lives. They are deserving of our unending gratitude. Mayhap in another society, our different standing would breed prejudice or resentment, but in Yulmore, a most glorious measure is in place to avert such unpleasantness. Part of that measure requires the free surrender their fortunes upon registration. All of our property, financial, intellectual, or otherwise, is given over to the city. In exchange, we are provided with ample funds and commodities to live a life of pampered luxury. Being liberated from the concern of earning coin has almost miraculous effects on people's outlook. There are no rivals to compete against, only fellow residents with whom to enjoy our tranquil existence. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must see that the markets have to offer as a reward for the return of my handkerchief. Oh, I've forgotten you, of course. Our courageous messenger returned to rescue her. All this talk of relying on the bonded, and I haven't even given thought as to what your duties might be. I hope I haven't interrupted your work unduly. A tour of the city, is it? Well, then you really must visit the beehive. It's always buzzing with activity. Local humor. Anyway, a lady in the name of Tista Bee usually has her seat near the entrance. She will gladly speak to you on any number of topics, assuming you find yourself on her good side. To the beehive. Welcome to the beehive, my little drone. Seeking the sting of an excitement to liven up your day? I can tell at a glance when folk are new to our happy colony. The nervous fluttering, you see, always gives them away. Why don't we play some cards to set you at ease? A quick game of high or low. It's simply a matter of guessing who has the bigger hand. If you win, I'll grant you a single favor, within reason, of course. Interested? Ready for a game of high or low, then? Let's play. Three cards for you, 3 cards for me. You flip one of yours over, and I flip 2 of mine. Would your total be higher or lower than mine? I'm gonna go with lower. You're going with low? Right then, let's see what we've got. My card adds up to 22, and you have a total of 7. You win! Alright. Congratulations, your guess was right. Usually I concede defeat at this point. But what do you say to a rematch? One more win, and then we'll talk about that favor. Alright, let's see if it's as easy as the last one. I'm gonna go low again. Aim low. Alright, yep, looking good. My cards add up to 16, and you have a total of 14. Yeah, I won again. Well, would you look at that? I think you've got a knack for this, newcomer. Congratulations, victory is yours, as is the prize I promised. Tell Autista what she can do for you. That's all? How delightfully wholesome. But if knowledge is what you want, then that is what you shall have. In my humble estimation, the most wondrous thing about this town is how safe we are from sin eaters. They say Lord Vothru was born with the power to command them, which means no Yulmoran need ever raise a weapon in defense of the city. Was that the kind of thing you wish to know? If your itch still needs scratching, you might get a few words out to a Tharn over there. There's not that Merry Sight likes more than the sound of his own voice. What's that? New to Yulmore, you say? I only just arrived and you're looking to peel away the layers of mystery. Oh, I'm all for chatting. But you need to slow down and enjoy life, my friend. I'll tell you what, hop up on stage and give us a dance first, and then we can have our little talk. Oh, great. Gotta perform in a frickin' strip club here. Let's do this. Flash dance. Look at this, I'm dancing and it sucks. That's the way, dance like there's no tomorrow. Alright, speak with him. Well, that was the show. You're welcome to clamber up on stage anytime you like. So, what is it you wanted to ask me? Ah yes, something about our fair city. Well, I can tell you it wasn't always so peaceful as it is today. The Yulmoran army may be the very essence of military might, but even our forces saw grievous losses in the war against the Sin Eaters. Things changed for us. Oh, around 20 years ago now, when the old ruler's son came to power. He's got his way with the Sin Eaters, you see, and docile as house cats. Wouldn't be exaggerating to say they've become something of an ally to Yulmore. No longer an enemy to be feared. And yet elsewhere there are still fools who insist on fighting their losing battles. Ha! A toast to Lord Vothri. Speak with Dulia Chai. You've returned from your jaunt around the city so soon. You needn't have hurried back. Young Alphanode has yet to put brush to canvas. One cannot brush good art, I'm told. Or good artists, apparently. Ah, finally. Put together an ensemble out of the garments you chose. Is this satisfactory? Oh, goodness gracious me, that last outfit was precious, but this makes you look positively dashing. You truly are a handsome boy, however am I to decide? What happened to painting? Exactly, the lad is an artist, dearest, not a dress-up doll. It's time we set him to work for the reason we called him here. Must we? I do love a good painting, but I thought since we were enjoying ourselves so thoroughly. Well, I'm not. That is to say, as long as you... just make sure you give the lad time to prepare. We know who will be upset if he's not ready to paint at a moment's notice. Whatever you say, darling. So, shall we pick out some jewelry next? Lady Chai has a very peculiar sense of beauty, and apparently that extends to how I should dress whilst painting. But this obsession of hers works in our favor. The time I spend indulging these distractions is time you can use to continue your explorations. For this excursion, I'd like you to delve into the layer below us and sniff about the military headquarters. I'm sure the understory has its own tale to tell. Even further down. You're one of the bonded, aren't you, like me? Please, I need your help. My throat, I can't sing anymore. I've been making excuses, but it's not getting any better. If my patron thinks I'm of no use to him, then I need you to sneak out to the derelicts and describe my condition to Thorich. Here's a list of symptoms and a hunk of meal to pay for his medicines. Please, I have no one else to turn to. You need medicines, tonics, potions? A cure for an ailing voice, is it? No, no medicine will cure this. Methinks your songbird has the lump in her throat. It must be cut out, excise. Even then, the voice may never heal completely. Poor little songbird. Will they kick her from the nest, I wonder? Or simply silence her chirps? Oh, your face. You didn't know? The many hopefuls who enter the city, very few are ever seen to leave, even as corpses. Oh, you might see one or two fortunate souls hurled from the balconies, but the rest, gone. A town of nightmares it is. Not for this ship's rat. Ho ho ho! I am content to scurry down here and nibble on the crumbs which fall from the table. This consultation is over. You have my verdict, and I have my meal. Good day. Quick. In here. Down. To the cell. Did you get my medicine? That's it. What do I do if I can't sing? Ah, there you are, my sweet canary. Have you been crying again? Don't tell me your voice is still not on the mend. Oh, generous sir, have mercy. I've done all I can, but even the apothecary said... So you've been suffering all this time. I'm sorry, my pet. I hadn't realized your affliction was this grave. But you needn't fret. I'll not reward your hours of trilling by casting you out into the street. You are too kind, sir. But what use am I if I cannot sing? I fear the day I become more burden to you than treasure. Then I shall have a word with Lord Vothry and arrange for your ascension. In that paradise where resides neither pain nor an illness, will your song ring out clearly once again. Or mayhap you think it a step too far. No, you would do that for me? Of course, why? I would almost wish to hasten my own ascension, knowing your blessed instrument was waiting there to greet me. Oh, she's gonna get turned into meal. Ah, you must be a new arrival. Allow me to explain. As we all know, the Sin Eaters exist to devour the sinful, but also they serve to gather the souls of the innocent and shepherd them unto celestial paradise. It is through Lord Vothry that we learn this truth. It is through Lord Vothry's grace that the free people of Yulmore are destined to embrace salvation. We are blessed to spend our days surrounded by love and merriment, until at last we are called to our final rapture. Even the bonded may find a place within that host, should their patrons deem them worthy. Lord Vothry truly is a great man, isn't he? Now, if you'll excuse us, we must be on our way. May you find eternal salvation for the compassion you have shown in my precious canary. What kind of sadistic place is this? Port to Alpha Node. Okay. Go up. That's not the exit. This is the exit. Back up. It's good to see you back. You were taking so long I began to worry something had happened. I began sketching an outline for the portrait. Nay, the chais appear otherwise occupied. Will you share what your investigations have gleaned thus far? Lord Vosbury boasts some manner of influence over the Sin Eaters, does he? That would explain the reverence in which he is held by the citizenry. As for this ascension business, I cannot help but be put in mind that of the apothecary in his ominous remarks. If so many folk have entered the city over the years, then where did they go? Alright, this should be the last quest of the night. I take my eye off you for one moment and you're chattering away with that assistant of yours. Am I to assume the outline is done then? What in the blazes? It's so unflattering. Explain yourself, Alphino. Where's your artistic interpretation? It should evoke images of affluence and nobility, and overwhelm the viewer with its boundless beauty. Lord Chai, you stated that this portrait was to commemorate your anniversary. Yours being a joyous union, it seems to be that a realistic portrayal. Realistic? I don't want realism. I want perfection, a spectacle to slacken the jaws and weaken the knees, to make people cry out in amazement. Now fetch a blank canvas and... I say, did that come from above? Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A tale to make you quiver and your noble blood freeze. There was a villain on the loose, set to ruin our fair city. But our lord has got him now, his fate will not be pretty. Yes, the hammer of justice is poised to come crashing down, and one and all who'd watch it fall invited to join his lordship in the offer. A malcontent? How dreadful. And this man is to face sentencing. That's right. In fact, if you're curious, it might be worth you coming along for the experience. The opera they mentioned is part of the Emergent, the level above us where Lord Vosbury resides. Ordinarily, you would be barred from entering, but it would seem they'll be opening its doors for the next little while. The crown lift will take you up there. We had better not dawdle then. Proceed to the offer.
That's him. That's Vorthri. He is attended by Sin Eaters. But how does he keep them from attacking?
Mercy! Mercy!
Sounds like there's a whiny catboy in here.
By the 12.
Oh, look at that. We sent him to his death.
Kaishia, what happened to you?
Who are these impudent louts? I do not recall requesting their presence.
Lord Vorthree, what is the meaning of this? Why is this poor man bleeding to death on your floor?
Why? You ask me why? Because criminals must be punished. And this man is guilty of fraud. He came to us, claiming to be a man of business. Yet his subsequent conduct has shown him to be anything but. Europe is a city built on love for one's fellow man. Those who have naught to give and live only to take are a blight upon our society! To atone for this crime, I ordered that he fling himself from the balcony. And he had the temerity to weep. Please, my lord, anything but that. What then is a man of mercy to do, but offer the sinner another way to show his contrition?
Another way? Meaning what exactly?
Sin Eaters are part of Yulmore's society, but they must be fed with ether. Living ether. So, I demanded an offering of flesh, carved by his own hand, from his own hide. And still, he could not do as I asked. A wholly unsatisfactory performance.
It is true that Kaishia won his place here by fraud, but his actions were driven only by a desire to share in your paradise. That you would cast him out, I could almost accept, but to humiliate him thus, to demand his very life? Is this truly the way of Yulmore?
Dim, deluding child. Have you ever paused to consider what it takes to maintain such a paradise in this barren, broken world of ours? The guarantee of safety and stability. The knowledge that if one only abides by the rules, one has naught to fear. I alone can offer these things, for I alone can command the Sin Eaters. And thus am I alone the voice of justice, and any who oppose me, villains to be punished.
Hospital sign? Oh, no, not yet.
And people call this paradise.
You were granted a place in my city for a particular skill. What was it?
Painting.
Oh, an artiste! Then you shall paint a picture for me of Yulmore. If I find your art pleasing, then I may excuse this display of insolence. Who gave you permission to tend to that criminal's wounds? I told you to paint me a picture!
What you need is a mirror, not a painting. It will capture the horror I see before me far better than I ever could. Can we walk?
Bathory has stopped working. Hold on, he's rebooting. There he goes.
Did that little worm just insult me? I'll kill them! I'll kill them all! I'll enslave their minds! I'll torment them! Torture them! And tear out their hearts!
Forgive me, in my anger I seem to have marched us back outside again. It is probably best that we leave this island altogether. I believe we've worn out our welcome here in Yulmore. In any case, I've seen enough of the world's self-proclaimed capital city to convince me that our little battle against the Sin Eaters will find few allies in Calusia. I will accompany you back to the Crystarium. We need to regroup and think of our strategy anew. Sheer, I've done you a grave disservice. You were hungry and desperate, and I offered you a solution without once considering the risks inherent in you accepting it. If I had but known the price you would be made to pay. You gave me everything I needed to make your idea work. It was me who made a mess of things, not you. But even after all that trouble I caused, you still stepped in and saved me, and now Lord Bathory wants us all dead. Why not come back with us to the Crystarium? I am certain we can find work for you there if you're willing. No, that would be just leaning on your kindness again. I need to do some thinking. Learn how to stand on my own 2 feet. Very well, but you must promise you'll be careful. The Yulmorans may yet come looking for us. I'll keep my head down, don't worry. And you take care too. Give me the chance to repay what you've done for me. Alphanu! Lord and Lady Chai. What in the blazes did you do? You have the entire city looking for you. I took a peek at your unfinished portrait, Alphanu. Now I've had many a beautiful and striking picture painted for me, but there was something about your work. It was as if you had caught the very essence of our love and rendered it naked upon the canvas. It was bold, unflinching, and I adored it. Please, you must come back with us and finish what you began. I will speak with Lord Bathory and vouch for your character. I'm sure we can smooth over any hard feelings. I'm sorry, Lady Chai. There is more important matters to which I must attend. More important? What could be more important than enjoying the days we have left to us in the fullest? Press me no further. We are leaving, but I would not presume to take the garments you were so kind to procure for me. One moment. I wouldn't hear of it. Keep the clothes, you silly boy, I insist, and I shall make arrangements so that you can pass through the gate without causing a stir. I expect you to come and visit. I will return, I promise you that. The outrage I witnessed must not go unanswered. The next time we meet, I shall be better prepared to confront the corruption which hides behind the glittering facade. Over to Stilltide. Thank you, my friend, for staying at my side through this whole sordid endeavor. Whilst not quite the joyous outcome I'd hoped for, our efforts have nevertheless answered a great many questions. Suffice it to say, our plans for saving the Fourth are unlikely to involve the aid of Lord Vothry and his subjects. Come, we must speak with the Exarch and chart a new course. This is far from over. Turn this quest in. It's good to be back amongst friends. In such company, I can finally turn my thoughts to the future, but ere we discuss all that we have learned and begin planning our next step, I think it best that you visit Alizé. Her familiarity with Amarang will no doubt provide us invaluable insight, and besides, I know she is eager to see you as I was. Bring a smile to her face, Magnarmus. Alright. Next time we'll get Alizé. The screenshot. Actually, that'll look better. Alright, catch you all later.